What's going on, my YouTube family? This is Anthony again. I'm back again with another video. Today we are doing brakes front and rear on a 2015 Mazda CX-5 all-wheel drive. As you can see, I pretty much did the front brakes already. It's a pretty simple job, nothing crazy. Of course, you got your lug nuts that's on the actual wheel, which is a 21. So you get 21 socket for that. It's a pretty simple job, man. It's nothing crazy. I mean, basically you have the bolts here for the sliding pin. This is a 14, and back over here, as you can see, this is for the caliper bracket. These are 17s. So I mean, if you have a wrench or possible breaker bar, of course, especially for the bracket. I mean, but you can use a wrench, as long as it's like a long wrench, because you need a little bit of leverage there to, to break those things free. Of course, you got the pads here, the new pads, the hardware. It's always a good rule of thumb to change out the hardware. Depending, I mean, some of these brands of brake pads that you get, sometimes these little hardware pieces are like kind of cheap and they rust real quickly. But if the old ones are okay, all you gotta do is get yourself a nice little wire brush. Like using one of the wire brushes right here. You just use that just to clean out the hardware, as long as it's intact or it's not rusted to the point it's going to break. You can always reuse those. I like to actually use, where is it? I had it. Oh, here it is. This is by Permatex. This is like a copper anti-seize lubricant. All I do is I put a little bit of that at the bottom here, as you can see, of the hardware, to prevent it, because a lot of times, over a long period of time, these things rust up and they actually seize up, causing, basically the pad not to move freely like this. And what happens is every time you're stepping on the brake, it keeps on squeezes and squeezes it, and basically it holds the pad against the roller, causing a heavy drag that can prematurely cause the pads to wear, also cause the rotor to warp. That's sometimes where you get the pulsation on the pedal when you apply the brake. So it ends up ruining everything. So to help prevent that, I always put that there. Also, when you do the brakes, another rule of thumb also is to always grease the slide pins. You take them out. So basically, like here, you take this one out. Here, I already greased this one up. I put the silicone grease. I mean, there are other brands that you can use. There's actually it's like a purplish silicone base, one from Permatex. I don't like to use that one, because I've seen that one when it comes back for another brake service from the same car. For some reason, it gets real hard. I don't know, I guess something with the material. I mean, the ingredients or whatnot. But I prefer to use this right here. I actually got this off of Amazon. I mean, this stuff works real good. It's based for a variety of automotive, electronic, and marine uses. So, the Marines or whatnot use this type of silicone. This stuff is good, man. I've been using it for some time, and it works out well, really good. So, like I said, it's very easy to do these brakes. Basic tools, it doesn't really take much. Now we're gonna go to the backs real quick. Now with this particular one, this has electronic emergency parking brake. And basically what this is, there's an actuator that's built on the back of the caliper. And for most of these cars, like the Ford Fusions, of course the Mazda and other vehicles actually use this, where you have the button that you just lift up when you apply the brake. So basically this actuator pushes out the piston, applying the brake. So with this particular situation, didn't have the computer to basically put it into service mode, because you're actually supposed to use a scanner. Now there's another way you can do this. I don't recommend everybody to do this. I mean, if you know what you're doing, then you can go ahead and do this. And I'm gonna show you exactly what you gotta do. If you have a Power Probe, which I have right here, I mean, you don't have to necessarily use a Power Probe, but I use a Power Probe. You can do that, or you can use like a battery or whatnot. But the Power Probe, basically, this, let me use the light on the Power Probe. If you look in here, there are two prongs in there. One is power, one is ground. And basically all it is, it applies, power to one side, ground the other. That causes the push out when you apply it. And when you push down, it reverses the polarity on it, causing it to pull back. So when you put it in the service mode, it actually pulls, the actuator pulls itself back And once it puts it in service mode and it pulls it back, you can basically use a caliper piston, tool. And basically what you gotta do is just press it forward and it pushes forward. And when you're done, what you can do is, once you put the caliper and everything back on, the rotors, everything back on, you can reverse the polarity and push it forward by basically putting where you put the ground side, you put the power side. Now you with the power side, you put the ground side on the pins, and now to basically push it all the way back out. And that pretty much does the trick, if you don't have the actual tool. But now there all are scanners, little mini scanners that actually solely do brake servicing for multiples of vehicles. I mean, you can look for that. I don't think they cost that much. I actually had one a while back. I don't know, but I lost the damn thing. I don't know what happened, but anyway, it's, like I said, it's a very, very basic job. It's not crazy. I mean, I didn't get a chance to do this side yet. I'm about to do the same thing with the actuator like I did the left side. But again, it's a very easy job, nothing crazy. It takes you a couple minutes. I mean, the fronts are very easy, but again, like I said, for the backs, if you do not know what you're doing, I recommend you do not try it because you could probably end up causing a problem. So, you don't want to jack everything up. So, if not, just go to somebody, any mechanic shop that has the proper equipment to put it in service mode so they can service the brakes for you. Or again, like I said, you can go buy the scanner, a little mini scanner, if you got time to wait or whatnot. But if you don't, just go to your local mechanic and that actually has the proper tool for it and take care of it for you. Or if he knows how to do it exactly how I did it. Very simple. But again, it's very important to always keep these particular things, the hardware and the slides. You want all these things to be clean and greased at all times. Also, sometimes when you use the piston tool to push back the piston and the brake caliper, sometimes this boot, which is the dust boot, detects water and things like that get inside the piston, because if it does, that can cause restrictions and also cause it to leak. Then you got to replace the caliper. And sometimes when you press it, sometimes this boot here, it swells up from air. So all you got to do pretty much, if it does swell up, it just kind of pull back a little bit on it and the air will just pretty much come out. Or if you be very easy and use like a little pick, you can just open that up and just push the other ends that are blown up with your finger. Just pushes the air right out, because you don't want this stuff to be bubbled out and you put the caliper down, because you end up tearing the boot, then you end up messing your caliper up over time. Then you got to replace it. So like I said, man, it's very simple. Been doing this crap forever, for like the longest. So I mean, I like doing brakes. I love doing other bigger jobs as well, but brakes is just like so easy. Some brakes are harder than others. Sometimes to remove the brake caliper or the bracket, like if you're dealing like with a Volkswagen, the way they got that rear brake thing on the brake caliper, brake bracket set up in the back, where you got to use, I think it's a 12-point socket, it's ridiculous. I mean, because one thing they use, like from factory, they use like the Loctite stuff, and man, sometimes I had to hit that thing with a torch just to heat up the Loctite to break it free. Because I mean, and the angle they have it in and what you got to remove just to get the bracket out the back is ridiculous. But other than that, guys, I'm gonna get back to this. Please subscribe to my channel. I'll be doing every day if I can, every car that I do, because again, I'm always working on the car every single day, doing something. So I would do my best to constantly keep on putting out these videos. I've been doing it for too long, but as I keep on doing it, the better I'm going to get. So until then, guys, I appreciate it. Please subscribe. I'll talk to you later. All right, take care.